Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Anise Khalif with Acupuncture Fit on Clubhouse, and I'm here with my dear friend Tiffany Accardi. She is a moderator and master community builder. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be with you today.
I'm super excited too, and today we're going to show you how to perfect the Clubhouse bio. Take it away, Tiffany.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I was just talking to Dr. Nice about this, I was on a Clubhouse room for Clubhouse for Beginners, and we got the question probably about 50 times before I actually decided to make a guide and tell people, I'll just send it to you and let you know how to do it. But it was all about how to optimize your Clubhouse bio. Now, the most important thing that I'm going to tell you about your Clubhouse bio today is that everything is searchable. So you want to make sure, just like a website or anything that you're building online, you want to make sure that it's SEO friendly. So any of the keywords that you want to make sure are in there, make sure to include those, because in the Clubhouse search function, if anyone's ever looking for a specific doctor or medical care professional that specializes in a certain subject matter, they can search you. I try to just use this as a super quick example, but we were doing a room on human trafficking awareness because January is Human Trafficking Month. And we did a quick search, human trafficking advocates, found about 50 people and were able to add them to the chat room that we had going on, and it ended up being a 6-hour panel that was super powerful and inspirational, and we wouldn't have found those people otherwise except that they had it in their bio. So that's one of the first and probably one of the most powerful moments that I realized how important the search feature is within Clubhouse. So I'll just go ahead and start off with saying that so you can get in your minds what type of topics you want to start putting into your bio. Now, the next thing that I will talk to you about is your bio photo. You want to make sure that it's bright, clear, an on-brand headshot of who you are, closely cropped and consistent. A lot of times you might want to use a picture that people already see you on online as, so that if somebody were to toggle back and forth between any of your social media platforms, they would be able to see, oh, that was who I was talking to earlier. Now, what you will find with Clubhouse is that some people will add a little bit of bling to their profile picture. So some people will have little rings that they've made on Canva, or there's even a couple of apps that you can download that are just called like what are they called? They're called frame
Frames.
frames. So you can even download that if you wanted to. And the point of that is if you're ever in a room with 1,000 people, when people are scrolling through and they're seeing who else is on here, and then all of a sudden this bright frame points out, people are sometimes automatically gravitated towards that. Now you can see I don't have a frame specifically on my profile, but I do have a peach background that's on brand with kind of who I am. And I actually did that on Canva. They have a remove background feature, or you can do that anywhere on Google, and then you can add a different color background, and it just kind of helps pop it out a little bit more, or helps make it stand out. So just a key tip for any of you guys. The next part that I will go through is your top 3 lines. You will hear this over and over again within Clubhouse culture. These 3 lines are the most important things on your bio. These are what you want to be known for. These are your headlines. These are your credibility builders. Because when you click on anyone's bio photo, the top 3 lines are the only thing that is shown. So you want to make sure it's tantalizing enough that people are like, I have to read the rest of their bio to find out what they're all about and who they are. I typically either say it's either your pitch, if you can summarize that within 3 lines, or you can make it 3 powerful one-liner hitters, like I heal this, I change lives doing this. You know, whatever the case may be within that, feel free to shoot me a DM or my contact information. I'll be more than happy to help you out within that as well. The next part would be your mission statement, your area of expertise, and then any maybe positive public PR that you've had. So if you've been featured in a recent article through any one of the many publications, a lot of times you'll see on profiles like featured on BuzzFeed, featured on this. So just the name. You can sometimes reference the article if there's any like outstanding feature about it, like viewed 1 billion times, or if you've had a YouTube channel or YouTube feature that you really wanted to highlight, you would put the name of that specific video, and then maybe on the side of it, you would want to put viewed 50 times. 50,000 times or whatnot. So just sort of like credibility builders that you'd love to point people to while they're looking at your bio. And I tell you what, when people are talking on Clubhouse all day long, people are stalking your bio. Stalking in Clubhouse is one of the highest compliments that you could ever get, and people are actually doing fact checking when they are in it. So when you say that, people are typically Googling, all right, let me see if this person's really about what they say that they're about, because they might be inviting you onto future stages and wanting to make sure that you have some of the credibility to back up who you are and what you say you're doing. The next part would be, how can we work together? What are your intentions on Clubhouse and next steps on connecting with you? So typically, a lot of times you'll find a certain niche within Clubhouse. So you'll see on different people's bios, like, I love talking about creating community. I love talking about anything within creativity. I love talking about dogs. So you can put some of those different things so that when people look at your bio, they're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking to collaborate with someone to talk about community building. I'm going to reach out to Tiffany because I see that she loves talking about community building and seeing if she wants to potentially collaborate or even co-moderate a room together in the future. So I'd go ahead and summarize that up, what that looks like for you, a couple of topics that you might be really passionate about and that you would actually love to add value to on a specific conversation. Also, the other thing is, if you ever have a program, say that, hey, I'm booking 5 calls right now for this price, only for Clubhouse members. Make sure I have an offer for you right now. If you call and mention Clubhouse, this is your offer. That would be the space where you'd like to go ahead and implement anything like that. I see that as people are becoming early adopters on Clubhouse, people are coming up with Clubhouse courses, people are coming up with Clubhouse downloads, all the things. So definitely kind of start getting your gears moving and what that might look like for you as an offer that you might want to offer to the Clubhouse community, and people will certainly be taking advantage of that. The next part would be seeking opportunities, areas of interest, fun facts, rooms you'd like to collaborate, moderate on. I've seen a variety of people do this in their bio where they either just put fun facts, so it humanizes you a little bit more of like, okay, you've read all this stuff about me, but also at the end of the day, I really like dogs, I like smoothies, I like long walks on the beach, whatever that looks like for you. You can go ahead and implement that. For me, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses. I also have other interests outside of that. So sometimes how I split up my week on Clubhouse is I'm spending about 25% of the week learning, growing from other entrepreneurs. Then I'm spending 25% of the week contributing and raising my hand, asking professionals questions, getting on the stages. And then the other part of my week, sometimes I'm like, okay, I've been in enough entrepreneur rooms all day long. Now I'm going to go listen to somebody sing to me. And we have some brilliant artists on this platform that have been amazing to build relationships and community with. And there's even a room called the Lullaby Room that's fun to check out. All those different facets. So it's okay to, like, you know, have somewhat of that professionalization, but also at the end of the day, hey, I like to sing, or I want to, you know, go have some creativity spark for joy or whatnot in that, or I happen to be really good at house organizing or things like that. So for me, I'm multi-passionate, have lots of interests. And sometimes people could look at my bio and be like, wow, like, what's she doing in this room? And then they can go down towards the bottom and be like, oh, I see that she has a lot of different interests. So that's just kind of that part of it. I tend to be more on the wordy side because I'm multi-passionate, but you can make it super succinct and simple. That's up to you. The last part is you want to make sure that you have all of your emails connected, your website connected, and your socials connected. I cannot emphasize this enough. Sometimes people will just put their Instagram name, and I hate to tell you this, but because we are like in a digital world at our fingertips, I'm not going to search that username. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Okay, back to someone else that has their username included in their bio. So make sure that you have that, because that right now, Clubhouse, I actually hope that they don't turn on a DM feature within the app, because I think it's actually one of the most valuable things that you can have right now, sending people to your social media. Just to give you a quick example, I've been on the app for about 4 weeks, and my personal social media app has grown by 1,800 followers from being on this app for 4 weeks. So just as a prime example, why you want to make sure that it is integrated, it's easy, it's accessible, and it's at the touch of a fingertip. And just encouraging people to DM, reach out to you for collaborations. Also, I would suggest, if you don't have a Twitter, I know that sometimes it can be less common, or maybe it's your main function of communication, but also just so that you can maximize opportunities, because there are certain business people on the app that maybe only utilize Twitter DMs. And so that would just eliminate another contact opportunity for you. So I just want to make sure that you have all accessibility available to you so that people can contact you on whatever communications is the most accessible for them. Make sure you have your website, make sure that you list anything else that might be relevant to things that you might be passionate about. But other than that, I think that would be my tips on maximizing and optimizing your time on Clubhouse and utilizing your bio to the fullest extent.
Oh my gosh, Tiffany, I couldn't have said it better myself. And hey, if you are watching this and you really liked what you heard and this gave you value as far as building your bio and you're confused about what to do, go and follow Tiffany. Her, handle on Clubhouse is up there. You can DM her on Instagram below or Twitter. I really want to thank you for sharing this with our physicians and healthcare providers, globally. This is just huge. I have a couple of questions for you regarding this. So I noticed that emojis, you've got some emojis on here. How important are emojis?
Thank you. That is something that I forgot to mention. So emojis are searchable on Clubhouse. So I know that sometimes, depending on what type of consumer you are, you might be like, those are a little bit silly or whatnot, but I promise you emojis are relevant on Clubhouse because they are searchable. So what I would do is I go to my iPhone, I look at what my most used emojis are, and I use them to help me break up my paragraphs, and hoping that other people that use those emojis just as much might connect with me as well.
That's such valuable advice. And the second question that I had is, I noticed that there aren't any hashtags on Clubhouse. Any insight into that?
Everything's searchable on Clubhouse, so hashtags aren't necessary. So even anything on your bio from the top to the bottom is searchable. So I think it's actually really great way, because typically hashtags limit you to 1 or 2 words, whereas if there's a certain phrase or something that might be relevant in your practice, it's actually a lot easier for people to search you out.
Hey, Tiffany, that is great. Thank you again. And again, you can follow Tiffany on her handle. You can see it right here in the bio. And if you, again, like what you heard, you can reach out to her or myself. I'm under at Acupuncture Fit, and also Dr. David Toohill and you can find him on at Doctor spelled out. So Dr. David. Again, Tiffany, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your wealth of knowledge. And I look forward to collaborating on future videos.
Can't wait. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You too.